Hey, we're here at Summer Game Fest 2024. We just played New World Aeternum out on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series XS on October 15th. Gentlemen, introduce yourself for the audiences at home.
Hey, I'm Scot Lane, Game Director.
David Verfaillie, Creative Director.
In bringing New World to not just expanding the gameplay in the world significantly and making it, how is it making it cross-platform and making it work for console players?
It's been a challenge, but a fun challenge. We're really excited to bring all these console players in and expose them to some of our current players, as well as to get them in our new content.
We've spent a lot of time getting the controls right? Like that's super important for a console game. So we've added things like aim assist, lock on, and I think, just button remapping, and I think it feels really natural on the controller.
It does, and it was interesting, like unlocking the progression and using, the R1 I was playing on the Xbox Series X to kind of like map those controls. How did you want to onboard new players that were just getting exposed to the New World experience for the first time through Aeternum?
Well, one of the big things we added was archetypes. So at the start of your experience, you sort of get to choose one of these pre-built classes. The game still has a classless system, but it's a nice way to sort of jump into it. You get to pick sort of the fantasy you want. Do you want to be sort of a mage with fireballs? Do you want to be ranged? Do you want to be melee? And I think it's a great sort of way to jump into the game quickly.
And that'll lead into our new Fatui, first-time user experience, which teaches you all the basic controls of the game and helps you get more equipped before you land on the island.
There's also I love the single player experience while still keeping it, online and still a shared experience. How did you want to revamp the dialogue and the quest progression to kind of speak to that narrative underlying the entire game?
As far as the dialogue part, we've added a whole new camera system. We're calling it our enhanced dialogue system. It allows the cameras to come in close, and it feels like a much more cinematic experience. We've also added a lot of in-game cinematics to help just pump up our storytelling.
Yeah, and I would just add, I think for that solo experience, we've also streamlined the quest progress, right? So it feels natural, it's easier to level up, and it just feels good as a solo player.
Speaking to the shared experience, how was it creating raids and PvP environments for for the game?
Awesome, I guess, to say in one word. Yeah, I mean, it's something we've always wanted to do, is get our first real, true raid in there.
We get fireworks now. Yeah.
No, but to have that 10-person encounter is awesome. As far as the PvP zone, I'll let...
Yeah, the PvP zone, it's a lawless zone, and it's a great way to sort of go in and it's a heightened experience, right? Because you don't know what's going to happen. You go in, you might just be going to gather some stuff or get a chest, and then you meet someone along the way, and it's like this sort of dance. Are we going to fight? Are we going to run? And it's just a really cool experience.
In speaking of that, New World, the base New World has been out for 3 years now. Taking that experience, seeing real-time player feedback over the years, how do you want to incorporate that and then expand on it with what, this ambitious Aeternum kind of, revamp of the game?
In the last 3 years, we've already added and changed so much based on that group of players giving us feedback and trying to make the game the best we possibly could for it. So the game, if you played it 3 years ago, it's going to look nothing like that. On top of that, we were adding a whole bunch of new stuff for the Aeternum release. Things like the raid, the PvP zone we talked about, all of the storytelling, making the game solo from beginning to end, raising the gear score. What else am I missing?
Matchmaking, swimming.
Well, and to speak to the swimming part, I mean, the demo that we played, we got to, go into the islands, go into the shipwrecks. How is it kind of creating these really gorgeous, water effect heavy environments for the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think the beauty of the world, I think, is really stepped up. And with console, right, now you can get it in 4K, HDR, it's made it even more beautiful.
It's been awesome letting our artists just create, right? I mean, Aeternum is beautiful, and it's, as you travel through Aeternum, you're going to see it go from this beautiful tropical experience. You'll see winter areas, you'll see rainy, dark areas, scary cliff, harsh areas. It's like a desert. There are just so many different biomes or areas in the world, and our artists have done an amazing job at making them just look beautiful.
I mean, more than just the environments and the characters, how do you really want to deepen the gameplay? You had mentioned kind of changing the trees and that sort of thing, and the button mapping. How did you want to deepen the gameplay based on those first 3 years of feedback for Aeternum?
Well, we've changed a lot. It starts with the balance, making sure all of the weapons play as evenly as possible. Smoothing out the leveling experience so there are no gaps, so you can get to max level quick, and then adding a thorough end game, a lot to do. Now in our end game, we have tons of different expeditions, which are 5-person dungeon type things. We've got portal runs, we've got chest runs, we've got a raid, we've got the PvP zone, we've got this thing called Outpost Rush, which is a PvP mode. We've got wars, we've got invasions.
And another thing is the group finder, right? It's a great way to get into this content super easy. With one click of a button, you find a group to go play with.
And it's important to note that Aeternum is more than just a seasonal upgrade. This thing is an all-around revamp of the New World experience. I mean, out everywhere on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, October 15th. Gentlemen, thanks for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Aeternum.